Peter Casey, you today are going to hand in your nomination papers to run for Europe. You previously said you'd run for the Dáil. Why are you going to Brussels rather than Dublin?
I believe I can make a real difference in Europe. I believe that there probably won't be an election here probably until next year, and the idea of sitting around for a year not being able to have an impact was a little bit frustrating. I think a lot of people are frustrated with the current state of affairs with the government at the moment, but I believe I'm the only candidate who's actually set up and run businesses in both North and South. So I really understand the challenges, and I also believe that the cross-border cooperation is a huge part of the solution to the problem with Northern Ireland, and of course the whole Brexit situation as well.
You got more than 300,000 first preference votes in the presidential election, but that was 6 months ago, and a lot of people have said since that vote was largely based on your comments around travellers and the traveller community. Is that going to be part of this campaign, or are you going down a different route?
I don't think it was, actually. I think the vote that I got was when I started pointing out that we do need a welfare state, but in order to be able to fund the welfare state, you have to have a profitable state, and I believe that the 94% of the people who are working, getting up, working hard, paying their taxes are feeling frustrated, and I think those were the people that actually I resonated with more. There's only 30,000 travellers, and as you pointed out, I got 342,727 votes. So they're not all people who don't like travellers. They like people who say what they think needs to be said when it needs to be said, and that's why I think I resonated with the 23.4% of the vote.
I've had a look at your manifesto. Part of it talks about direct provision and immigration, which is immigration obviously a big topic in the EU. What's your view on that?
We absolutely have to have immigration. We've got a skills shortage in Ireland, but there needs to be a discussion on it, and it needs to be a rational discussion. It needs to be a non-emotional discussion, and you can have a discussion on immigration without being labelled a racist. With direct provision, I think it's an absolute tragedy what's going on there. I mean, if you bring somebody into your country and give them a refuge and give them asylum, you need to look after them. It's like me being invited to your house for the weekend, and you say, "Oh, you're sleeping in the garage." If you can't look after them properly, then you need to have a discussion on how many people we can bring in. We should give them passports. We should allow them to work. We should allow them to travel.
And suggesting possible quotas for the number of immigrants.
I think we need to have a discussion on it. You shouldn't bring people in if you're not going to look after them properly. That's
the discussion. Not a safe answer, though. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that we absolutely have a responsibility under international treaties and international law to actually bring in and facilitate. But if you're going to do that, you have to do it properly. And the way we're doing it is absolutely not proper.
Will Brexit happen?
Absolutely. I believe that they will eventually leave. I think that's. But it'll be a very orderly Brexit. They'll probably join EFTA and then they'll probably be join the European Economic Area, and there will be some restriction on freedom of movement, I believe, as part of that. They'll insist on some sort of exception to conditions to freedom of movement.
Peter Casey, thank you for joining us on Independent.ie.